Some, and the intermediate level, some are being reprocessed. After reprocessing, there will be a lot of silicates. So they make glass slabs, convert into glass slabs, and they are storing it under air conditioned, controlled temperature. That also will have radioactivity.
Correct.
The sad part is the highly radioactive element. They can't do anything. They are just storing it, storing it, storing it.
That is what the whole world is doing.
Yeah. See, after the Pokhran 1, that is 1971, India was not allowed to do reprocessing of the fuel.
Correct. That's what this whole one.
All the spent fuel rods, see, spent fuel rods are the rods which are kept in their core, and they have to replace it every 4 months' time. All the spent fuel rods of Tarapur reactor are being kept in cold storage. And now they are transporting it from there to be buried in Kalpakam, some crystalline rock structures which they have found out, under which they are going to bury this.
Oh, this is what they do in US, no?
So
dig holes and tunnels in mountains.
Yeah, they put it. So imagine the amount of radioactivity that we are. And since we are propagating against nuclear energy, it is the straightforward question that will come to us. So don't we need electricity? This is the immediate question that people might ask us. We need electricity, we need energy, we need power for sustained growth, for which definitely nuclear energy is not the solution. There are other forms of energy which is renewable, like solar, biomass, wind. A lot of things are available. Tidal, geothermal, a lot of things are available, which the government has to concentrate in keeping in mind of the welfare of the people.
So, isn't it also a fact that we are just so extravagant with use of electricity?
Yeah.
For instance, in malls.
Exactly.
You know, you have all the windows open, huge lobbies, air conditioned. Not really
not
required.
See, I'll tell you something. Tamil Nadu as a state has a shortfall of roughly about 3,000 megawatt, the amount we produce and the amount we consume. Anywhere between about 1,500 to 3,000 megawatt, depending on the peak hour consumption we have. If we change the normal lamp, filament lamps, into CFL lamps, we will be able to save about 2,000 megawatt. There is a statistics available. There is a scientific theory behind this. If you are able to just change all the normal filament lamps, which is very old, into CFL lamps, we will be able to save roughly about 2,000 megawatt. What
exactly does radioactivity? Why are people afraid of radioactivity?
Oh, I mean, let us assume Kalpakam alone. Let us take the example Kalpakam alone. Kalpakam is witnessing a very unnatural increase in number of polytras. Polytras are the people who have a sixth finger in their hands or sixth finger in their legs. It indicates their low level of immune system in their body. If the national average is something like about 1 in lakh, in Kalpakam 1 in 1,000 is what the average is. Plus multiple myeloma, cancer. Everything, like everything is a chain reaction. They dump the waste in the ground, grass grows in that, cows goes and grazes there. We drink the milk of the cows, so radioactivity comes to us.
So it can transfer from on the food chain.
It's a very easily transferable thing. See, the incidence of cancer, as you see, is very high these days. Every 1 in 3% that growth there is a possibility. The main reason is of the radioactivity. A lot of people have questioned us in terms of uranium is a naturally available thing, so will you not have radioactivity when it is naturally available? See, when it is like this, when it is available in nature, in deep crust of earth, it would be protected by a lot of layers in the earth, and moreover it would be mixed with natural sand, dust.
Exactly, it is not in the concentrated form,
pure
form
form
in which we find
there
it.
you will not find the radioactivity, but when you try to mine it, when you try to bring it out as a concentrated source, then you get into radiation. It is like this, See, you take a vegetable or you take a food item, or when it gets into the body, it generally breaks into components of nitrogen, phosphate, and things like that. For that, you cannot take nitrogen, phosphate directly.
That's right, yeah.
It's a very simple way, because when the plant grows in the Earth's atmosphere, it also a lot of other things that gets added to it. So it has to be a sustainable thing. Where we, as a human race, where we have failed is in the sustainable development of the whole thing. See, man's science knowledge, man's science frontier is very, very limited. I can give an example of DPT, which was invented by Paul Hermann Muller in 1942. And Sweden, he's a Swedish guy, and it was awarded Nobel Prize in the year 1948. Okay, 1948, DDT was awarded Nobel Prize. In 1962, Sweden banned it. So this is man science frontier. He is able to visualize only about 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, 20 years is what our imagination could be. Let us take the example of endosulfan or any other inorganic fertilizers that we have started using in our country from 60s with the so-called green revolution. So that is where we are again in the last 5-6 years we are again turning back to organic farming, natural farming, because we have understood that it is not the correct way to go. So our science frontier is only about 30 years. So beyond that, which we cannot imagine. So nobody knows how uranium-238 will react after 50 years.
Correct.
Nobody knows how a plutonium-239 will react after 100 years, because all their half-life cycles are lakhs of years. Nobody knows how it will react.
Right.
So we are living in a very, very dangerous ocean,
yes.
very fragile system. It can break down any time.
Correct.
See, today's India's requirement is 1,70,000 megawatt. This is megawatt per hour. Which is in 1 hour, India will consume roughly about 1,70,000. Out of which nuclear energy is producing only 4,780 megawatt.
Yes,
okay.
But then we are planning to build 20 more reactors.
Okay, whatever we have by 2030, that's what they said. At a GDP of about 8 to 10% growth rate, India will require roughly about 6 lakhs to 8 lakh megawatt by 2030. This is India's projected thing based on the GDP growth. AEC, Atomic Energy Commission, has said by 2030 we will be producing roughly about 30 to 40,000 megawatt only using nuclear energy, including the 4,000 that we are doing now.
Which is what, 10%?
Not,
10-20%?
Yeah.
Oh.
So our requirement is something like about 6 lakh megawatt, not even 10%.
Oh, not 6 lakh, okay,
Yeah.
right.
And we will be producing roughly about 30 to 40,000 megawatt. And secondly, the technology that we are going to import, we have a great question mark in that technology.
Yes, I know.
In Kalpagam, in Tarapur, in Kaiga, all these places, we are using pressurized heavy water reactors, PHWR, in which good or bad, the Indian scientists are used to it for donkeys years, 50 years, we have been used to that. What are the problems, we know everything, we have handled them, except for Tarapur, which is a PWR, boiling water reactor. Rest are all pressurized heavy water reactors. In Kudangulam, they are trying to build a pressurized water reactor is what we are going to put it in Kudangulam. The sad part is India is trying to build a 9,900 megawatt nuclear park in Jaitarpur in Maharashtra.
Yes.
That is very, it is adjacent to the coastal region.
Yes, and very beautiful also.
Very beautiful location, and the ecosystem is very fragile there now. The greatest thing is it is under seismic zone 4.
I see.
So it is an earthquake prone area. Seismic zone 3. It is an earthquake prone area. So there they are trying to build a reactor which is 9,900 megawatt at a cost of about 1 lakh crore. 1 lakh crore is the investment. The sad part of it is they are going to use a technology called EPR, which was originally called as European power reactor. Now they have changed it to enhanced power reactor, built by a French company. These reactors are nowhere in the world.
It's a unique one.
Yeah, it's the first time that they are going to become operational in India. They have said they are already building it in Finland and China. They are only building it, not operational. So India is going to import such a kind of reactor at the cost of 1 lakh crore, compromising on the people's safety, fragile ecosystem, everything.
So what would you say would be an alternative to, we have discussed solar or tidal and so on, but then if you see the share of solar energy or tidal energy is also quite small when compared to conventional energy.
See, Greenland country, though it is not as populous as a larger country, very smallly, very thinly populated country, is depending on 100% renewable energy. 100%, not even 1% of energy is made by non-conventional sources. Completely uses geothermal, completely uses tidal energy to meet its requirement. India has got a coastline of about 7,200 kilometers. India has got a coastline of 7,200 kilometers. So you could try out geothermal, you could try out tidal energy.
So are you saying that we are not using our resources?
No. So I will give you a simple example. Okay. Wind energy was invented, wind turbines was invented about 20 years back. That's when we started to put in all these turbines in Kanyakumari, Chennai districts. At that time, the turbines are available only for about 200 kilowatt. Because the technology that was available at that time was to produce only 200 kilowatt. Today, we have got a technology which has turbine which can produce about 2 megawatt, roughly about 10 times higher than the older machines.
Okay.
So there's a concept called repowering. you remove all the old wind turbines, replace them with high power turbines. Instead of a 200 kilowatt, you will replace it with a 2 megawatt turbine. So instead of producing 200 kilowatt, this turbine produces 2 megawatt at the same usage of same wind, same place, everything. So which means if India produces today 25,000 megawatt of electricity through wind power, we can produce 250,000 megawatt using wind power.
Oh.
It will increase by 10-fold.
Uh-huh.
But there has to be push from the government side. The entrepreneurs should be taught, they should be given incentives, they should be given